Manish?
Yeah, especially since all of you come from a technical background, right? This is a question we also get very often when we recruit people. मेरे को सर इंग्लिश तो ठीक आती है. You're basically going to end up, if you are going to be programmers, right? Initially, it's not going to be important at all because you're going to talk a technical language. It makes no difference. I've had guys, we sent them to Germany. They were so scared. Germany जाएंगे कैसे बोलेंगे? They came back and they were laughing. We speak better than that. These were guys who said, "हम क्या करेंगे?" Then we speak better than that. They're very happy. If our English is broken, theirs is gone completely. Yeah. Right? So language is not important, but eventually, yes, as you move up the food chain, then communication does become important because you start interacting with people sometimes, that kind of thing. But that is something, again, like we said, you learn with the job, 3-4 years down the line, you build those skills up. Even if you don't have a skill, initially, yes, it's not going to be a deterrent. It helps if you speak well, but it's not a deterrent, right? But you can build a skill alongside. I don't know this, I need to build this up. But if you're good technically, I have never seen, we would never use language as a deterrent. We'd simply hire the person and say, chalo, get down to doing what you do best.
Yeah, even I'd like to add, I keep telling them that language is just to complement what you know. It's not a substitute. It's not there to substitute your technical knowledge. If you're able to put two sentences of English together, that does not prove that technically, you just got to, sail through the interview. It's just a means to exchange, it's just a medium to exchange information, and it's just about being confident in your skin. That's what it is all about. When I have my sessions, mostly communication is mistaken for speaking in English. It is not just about speaking in English. It is about your ability to communicate your ideas, and you can do it in any language. In fact, in one of the sessions, I said, okay, English is a problem. What if I come, what if I tell you to come forward and speak in Punjabi? So if you're not confident, be it Hindi, English, Punjabi, you will not be able to speak. Though Punjabi is your mother tongue, right? In front of a group of people. So language is just to complement you, not, it's just to complement your skills. It's not a substitute, right? So let's get this straight here, right?
That's great. I have a question for the audience. Are better skills better money? I hope you got better skills. Is having better skills better money? Sorry?
It's technical skills or communication.
A mix of all.
Actually, today we have the
Depends on the type of job, I think. But largely, it's just a general question. Having more skills does it give you more money?
Yes.
Manish, what do you have to say on this? Today's times, many of the job, employers, they look for a multitasking candidate, who can do a lot of stuff.
True, having a lot of skills helps, but it should not come at the cost that you are, jack of all trades and master of none.
It's the reverse now.
If you are, especially since most of us are doing CS, computer science, having a good base is important. But nowadays, what I see, a lot of them will say, oh, you know what, I know XYZ technology, I know .NET, I don't do PHP. I know PHP, I'll not do .NET. But from where we've learned, if your base is solid, you can pretty much do .NET, PHP, it makes no difference. You need to sit down, look at the book, pick up the language, then it's language, there's logic and there's language. And the language is again means to an end. But having multiple skills does help. The more you are involved within the organization, the more you are an asset to the organization. If you do a lot of other work with the organization also, which organization would like to lose you?
That's good. This is a slightly funny one, but I think many of us has faced or would face or would be facing. A couple of months back, there was a session, upcoming star Ty generally conducts at Barista, and there was a gentleman who asked me a question that I'm in love with a girl, and and on the other side, I've got an opportunity to go to France, and if I miss that job, I miss a career, and if I miss the girl, I think I miss everything. So, how to handle that situation? I'm going to ask JB this question. There's a lot of emotions involved in this.
You can get a job anytime.
You will never get a girl of your dreams.
If not France, maybe UK or London, but girls will not come back.
So that's great, Do you guys agree to it?
Yes.
So or you're going to get the girl or the guy first, and then you say, okay, baad mein kar lenge. Job baad mein. Well, that's funny. Ambika, would you like to throw some more light on the approach of your first interview when you know?
Yeah. Like, like the topic here is how to market yourself. Now let's understand that, like, I'm from marketing background, so I'd like to apply some marketing concepts here. Like the two, let's talk about two concepts here, selling and marketing. Now they may sound the same, but they are not, they're substantially different from each other. Now when I'm selling, my intent is just to change my product into cash. So what I have seen is that most of the young people here are just focused on selling. You see a job posting, you go to the place of the interview, a question is put forward, you answer the question, may or maybe you could, I mean, if you're lucky, you get selected, and that's about it. But when I talk about marketing, now marketing is an integrated process. So if you have to market yourself, first you have to anticipate the needs of the customer. Marketing starts with that, right? And it ends with bringing value to the customer. So first you have to find out, if you want a job, if you have to market yourself, first you have to find out which is the company I want to work in. What is the criteria that I have to meet? What are the tests that they conduct? Am I up to it? Will I be able to pass those tests? What are the sort of questions that I asked? Do a bit of surfing on the net, find out a bit about the company. What is it that they do? What is the general selection process? Now once you know that, once you've got a hang of that, then you step into, then if, let's say they conduct a campus drive, then you are ready, you're more aware of what you're getting into. So marketing and selling, you have to draw a line and you have to understand, what do you want to do? Do you just want to sell off yourself too cheap at any price, whatever is available in the market, or you want to crave a path for yourself where you market yourself, understand what's available and select, and then eventually bring value to the organization. That's it, right? So you have to be very proactive. You cannot just sit till the last day, okay, the campus placement drive is going to be in October, so I am going to, just start thinking that day. It will not happen that day. It has to happen days before that day. You have to decide for yourself as to when you want to start, and the sooner the better. Thank you.
JB, would you like to add something?
Yeah, I would suggest you must do your homework before you even approach a company for interview. You should know their products, their services, and while giving interview, if you are able to relate your offerings with the product services the customer that company has, definitely the person on the other side of the table will relate to it very fast, and you have a better chance of getting it.
Manish?
I guess that pretty much covered it. I think since you guys are mostly going to go for your first job interview, the idea is, I see a lot of people run no kind of background check. If when you kind of do, I always ask a person, so do you have any questions about the company? Would you like to know something about the company? Environment-wise, anything. People would never ask, nahi, ji, sab theek hai, wo ji salary kitni legi ji, batao. You see, the idea is you should ask questions. Who started the company? What do you do? Where do you get your work from? It's always a good thing, because then it's like a two-way conversation. It's not a one-way kind of thing. Okay, I'm speaking, you're listening, and that's the end of it. You just nod your head to everything on the end. So in between, if I say you have to work 20 hours a day, yes.
Yeah.
Then when I tell you to work 20 hours, you say nahi. So you have to be a little proactive, and maybe it's part initially. We don't take it. You're told be obedient, be nice. But the more questions you ask, as long as they're valid questions, you obviously don't want to ask too many now. But if the interaction is there, it goes to your advantage more than anything else.
How many of you in the audience are looking for a job? Okay. The gentleman on the right, on that pista-colored shirt. Sir, would you come down here, please, and share what is going in your mind right now? What are your thoughts at the moment? Mohammed. Okay, Mohammed is going to share his views.
Sir, I would like to ask one question. That suppose I belong from a UP. I don't know very much Punjabi, as you have said, but if the interviewer asks the question me in Punjabi and I wouldn't able to understand what he was actually saying, and I have given the wrong answer, then how would I get the job?
first thing, if you not understood the question, you should ask him the question. दोबारा बोलो, मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आई है. अब ये happens a lot. Like I speak in English, half my office is yes, and then they go back to HR and say, sir, क्या बोल रहे थे जरा बताना. तो ये आप अपने आप ही आप उससे पहले पूछो कि मेरे को भी आप ना दोबारा मेरे को पंजाबी नहीं आती, हिंदी में बताओ.
Sir, and sir, I would like to ask if you have said that the money doesn't matter. Suppose if I belong to a lower middle class and the company is offering me, suppose 5,000 rupees per month, then how will I be able to survive in a city like Chandigarh, which is so costly as compared to other cities?
Again, see, this is what the idea is. You have to weigh your options, right? अगर आपके हाथ में कुछ भी नहीं है, the simple thing is 5,000 is better than nothing, right? If you have no other option open, then you might as well take what you have in hand and focus towards that. ठीक है, if this is it, I understand Chandigarh is expensive and I understand the stipend is 5,000 is pretty much the norm, ठीक है. But if you have nothing else, so वो English में beggars can't be choosers, right? You might as well at least get started. At least you put your foot in the door. आप आगे तो कहीं बढ़ सकते हो. कि मिलती opportunity जरूर.
Can I ask a counter question?
Yes, sir.
UP, which place you belong to?
Sir, Allahabad.
आप इलाहाबाद से यहाँ क्यों आए?
Sir, because there are greater opportunities in the fields of IT. Yes.
वहाँ 5,000 की जॉब भी नहीं मिल रही है.
Sir, in Allahabad, sir, I am earning near about 7,000 in Allahabad.
Then why you come here then?
Sir, because I want to learn more, basically.
You have answered your question yourself.
Sir,
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
My first interview.
Okay.
I cleared already aptitude round as well as technical rounds.
Okay.
जब मेरा इंटरव्यू राउंड स्टार्ट हुआ, I am well confident, मैं गया, एंटर किया, जैसे ही जाके बैठा, नर्वसनेस स्टार्ट लाइक दिस. तो क्या हुआ, ये ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस का की वजह से है या फिर ये लैक ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस?
So we have a psychiatrist amongst us. Anyway, I will ask the lady to answer this question.
I want to know that.
No, it's okay.
No, we
We are very serious.
definitely, yeah.
Actually,
Your problem is our problem. Well, you know what? So you cleared the aptitude round, you cleared the technical round, and now you're talking about the HR round. First, congratulations that you've cleared at least 2 rounds, right? Many of them don't even reach that place. So I wouldn't say, that is up to you. Actually, that is for you to decide whether it was overconfidence and whether you're not confident. But then if you were nervous or excited, right? Were you nervous or were you excited?
Actually, I am nervous. जैसे मैं इंटरव्यू के लिए गया, I am okay. सीट पे बैठा इंटरव्यूअर्स के आगे nervousness start हुई.
Was that your first interview?
It's third interview.
Look, it's very common. Like when we talk of an interview, there's so much hype created around an interview that it's just common to get an anxiety attack, or maybe you're in a state of nervousness. But then I would like to say that if it all boils down to the fact that how well prepared you are, that is what I keep telling my students, that what is confidence? Confidence is made of 3 main components, and there's nothing much more to it except preparation, practice, and then you deliver the performance. The 3 P's of confidence, right? So any interview, be it your first, second, third, and with every interview, let me tell you, you'll get better and better, right? So it is all about, how well prepared you are. And agreed, if you were nervous, we all get nervous, right? We all have a first time, right? So it's nothing wrong in being nervous. You have to, even if you say that you're nervous in front of the interview, I'm sure he'll understand because you're a fresher, right? So there's nothing wrong in accepting the fact that yes, I was nervous, but you have to, let's say, get into the flow, get into the swing, and let not nervousness overtake the entire scenario, right? So being nervous is okay, because maybe it was your first round or your second round, whatever it was. So it's, I think, but natural, but at the end of the day, what matters is that were you able to click the interview or not? Were you? No? So better luck next time, and being nervous and be more prepared next time. That's the key to it. Be prepared, practice on what you've prepared, and then you'll deliver the performance, right? So I think it's a learning experience for all of us. We all get nervous. Being nervous is, I think fear is one thing that is, वो बोलते हैं ना, हमें डर लगता है. डर के आगे क्या है? You answer my question. क्या है? नहीं, तो वो माउंटेन ड्यू वाले बोलते हैं, उससे कुछ नहीं होगा। माउंटेन ड्यू पीने से सिर्फ कैलोरीज बढ़ेगी। डर के आगे जीत नहीं है, डर के आगे सीख है। जब हम डरते हैं तभी हम सीखते हैं, एंड उस सीख के बाद जीत है, राइट? सो डर के आगे सीख है, एंड सीख के बाद जीत है, राइट? थैंक यू।
And Navdeep, could you just share with us who was interviewing you? Who was interviewing you? Was it a male or a female? Anyway, that could be also one of the reasons. Well, friends, we are joined by Neha Thakur, and Neha is working with Axis Bank as an assistant manager. Previously, she was in Mumbai, right? And we would like to ask straight on, Neha, how was your first interview, and how did you clear it, or just share your experiences about it?
Okay, good afternoon. Is it working? Hello, good afternoon. First of all, apologies for being late. And I'll say my first interview was like, for the first time you're going and saying I love you to somebody you like. So you are nervous, you're excited, and you never know how it's going to be like. So my first interview, sadly, I didn't clear. It was for a big IT giant. I was nervous. I, went through my Kotlers, and I went through my OBs and FM, everything, whatever. I souped in ET because my professor said you should read Economic Times. You should know what's happening in the business world. So I'm sitting in front of this panel, like highly intelligent. I clear the technicals and whatever, and then I'm sitting in HR round. They asked nice questions, and then came a blooper. So I won't quote the question because it was a little controversial. But in those 5 minutes, I was sitting. I want the job so bad. I have worked so hard, and my God, what am I going to do? So it was like, sometimes you know the answer, you know what is right, but you just can't say it. And you come out and say, oh my God, what did I just do? But later on it helped, because the second company which came, and the third and the fourth, that was all through. So it's always like going and saying I love you to the guy or girl you like for the first time. For me.
Well, thank you for sharing that thought. We have a question which we took before the event. Somebody has asked, if we get selected in an interview for a company in our 7th semester, but in the 8th semester we get lesser marks than the 7th semester, is it possible that the company will still hire us or not? Manish, would you like to answer, Manish?
I don't think so. It should make any difference, I guess.
Yeah.
As long as you're not stuck with reappearance or something like that. Because once the company is done with their hiring process, that's pretty much it. Once you kind of move into the field, rarely people ask you what are your 10th marks or your 12th marks. It doesn't make a difference. But if you're stuck with the reappear, that also people I know in big companies also cover up. They quietly say, "Aapki mark sheet aa rahi hai, I'll get it in 2 months' time. Don't worry, don't worry." So I don't think so. It should make any difference.
And anybody from the audience would like to comment? Quite aggressive into the market. He's into the education domain. Kshitij, please.
I think I have a question.
Oh, okay.
From Ambika, ma'am. You said that it was your first interview and you didn't want to join the company. So the 3 P's were not there in your case, right? And another question is, what did these people saw in you that wanted you to be an assistant manager, or probably the CEO or assistant to the CEO or CFO, whoever it was? What did these people saw in you that it might have in themselves also?
Well, let's say, I'm born into a family where, let's say my dad, he was in the UN, so I got to travel a lot. And when you travel a lot, you are exposed to a lot, you get a chance to go and visit a lot of countries. So I learned language not the hard way, it came in very easily. So one thing was there, that as far as communication skills was concerned, I was pretty good at it. I could communicate whatever I wanted to communicate, and I was able to put across my ideas. And since the stakes were not very high, so what happened was that I was not tensed, I was not nervous, and I just took it as a conversation. It wasn't an evaluative communication, it was just like a free flow of communication from one point to the other point. So maybe I was very comfortable. I think that was all about it. I was very comfortable, there was no hype around it, I was not scared. I think that was it. And so that's what I tell the students also, you know, no matter what you do, you have to be very comfortable. First enjoy it. If you enjoy the interview process, it will look like more like a conversation rather than, you know, oh my God, this guy is going to ask me a lot of questions and I would not be able to answer them. So you have to enjoy the interview process and take it as a conversation, not as something, you know, that is going to blow in your face, oh my God, so here you go. No, it's a conversation at the end of the day. Two people with, let's say, you know, some sense in their head are talking to each other. That's about it, right? Thank you.
I'm sure there's a couple of people in the audience or other students would be looking forward to make a career overseas. How many of you are looking for a job abroad? Nobody? So nobody has come across an opportunity where you're going to get an interview, going to go for an interview for Canada, US, Israel, Japan. Japan is up, you know, rebuilding, must be opportunities there. You all want to stay back in your country?
Serve the country.
Serve the country. Well, that's great. The next point I would like to, you know, have a discussion on, we start from JB. How do we handle peer pressure?